Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're positively getting the Maryland Crab Cake Tour on a little bit of a break. We'll get it back out on the road on July 12th. We will be at Fadley's before the Orioles take on the Yankees. All of it brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I have the Gold Rush Sevens doublers. Had some winners at Coco's last week. I don't know if we had any winners the other day over Pappas. Nobody yelled and said we won. We were over Pappas in Parkville, had some great conversations. A lot of great conversations all the way through. It's been a great, great month of June with the Crab Cake Tour, and we got the 4th of July around the corner. I kid and I joke that this Home Run Riches promotion with the Maryland Lottery, that they're hitting so many home runs that poor John Martin has to figure out how to pay all these people. And this week he is absent from our holiday visit. It's a little weird that he's not here the week the Cleveland Guardians are beating up on the Orioles. He has sent his emissary and one of my friends as well, even though I get to sit in his office once in a while and wipe my feet on his Pittsburgh Penguins floor mat. It is a floor mat after all. We welcome Seth Elkin back onto the program, one of our defending champions from the Maryland Lottery. Director of, what are you director of? Communication?
Communications, yep, absolutely.
Did I get it right? All right, good.
You got it right.
Anybody will tell you I'm terrible with titles. I don't have one. You want to talk baseball? I mean, look, the Orioles have lost.
I always want to talk baseball.
You don't feel good when the Orioles lose, though, right? I mean, even though you're a Pirate fan, you sort of like the Orioles, I think. No?
I as we've talked about, I have developed a soft spot for this team. This is Baltimore is my mom's hometown. So I got a soft spot for the Orioles. I always have, even all the way back from being a little kid. So it's really something special what's going on this year. And I'll tell you what jumped out at me. You may have seen the most recent All-Star voting. They're closing in on the end of that first phase of the All-Star voting. And I was surprised that Ryan Mountcastle has moved into first place among first basemen.
I got to get one of those ties with all the faces on it. That's kind of fun, right?
You expected, we obviously knew Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman would be up there, but now you're looking at potentially a third Oriole in the starting lineup. And that got me thinking, and I don't need much of an excuse to dive into Baseball Reference, as you know. Do you remember the last time the Orioles had 3 starters in the All-Star game?
3 starters in the All-Star game. Now, I attended the All-Star game in 2013, 14, one of those years where they had Tillman, Hardy, there were Jones. They had players. I don't know if they had Weeders.
Starters. This was before that. And 2 of them were Hall of Famers.
Starters. Well, Eddie and Cal or something? Is that what you're going to give me?
No, not that quite far back, although Cal's one of them.
Well, I attended all these All-Star games, so now you're going to make me think about it. I have pictures of myself at the Cleveland All-Star game in 1997 with Alomar. Messina didn't start that game.
You're red hot now. You got the right.
So it's Cleveland, 97.
You got the right year, and you just named one of them. You got Alomar,
Ripken. They're Brady. Both Hall of Famers. Brady, yeah. By the way, I saw somebody on Twitter list Brady Anderson's home runs by year, and like how crazy that is, But I mean, he would never, ever cheat or anything like that. The Maryland Lottery and what's going on here this summer. First things first, Home Run Riches, which leads us to baseball, which leads us to Ryan Mountcastle hitting home runs and hitting grand slams and all these guys. They had 4 home runs on Tuesday night. They didn't win, but somebody won. I know this is a fact. And Home Run Riches it's in front of me every single night. And I tell John, every time the bases are loaded, like they were in the 7th inning and we didn't score a run on Tuesday night, I feel like there's going to be a grand slam.
And you're absolutely right. Robert Tyler from Germantown got to celebrate. $2,500 for him. $500 for each of those 4 home runs.
Well, at least somebody got something on Tuesday.
And $500 for being selected. And you know what? He is the 5th person this month to win $2,500 because they had a 4 home run game. So
I'm telling you, this is where Martin is. He's out getting the money. You guys weren't counting on them hitting this many home runs. There's no way.
I don't think so. They're as we're speaking, they're leading the major leagues in home runs with let me get that number. What is it? 129.
Well, is there anything better than being a Maryland Lottery representative when you have Home Run Riches and like people are they're just hitting them left and right? The other night it was hot out. And the ball was just flying early in the game.
Absolutely, yep.
I mean, I don't want to say this because it would make Jim Palmer angry, but can you imagine if they didn't move the fence back?
They talk about that so much every time a ball gets hit to left field. And who was it? Was it I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it Cowser that hit one out to left field? Somebody hit one
Yes.
out to left field that cleared the fence and then some, even with the fence moved back. So impressive to see, and so much fun what's going on this year between the homers and the potential 3 all-stars in the starting lineup, and a lot of fun for this year.
Well, before I get to lottery, you missed the old punch outs on the All-Star game cards, right? I mean, you're
I
an old guy
do,
like
yeah.
me. Like you probably went to Three Rivers and punched out, Bonilla and Bonds, and you would have punched out Drebeck if you could, but you couldn't vote for pitchers. But you probably voted for Spanky Lavalier a couple times, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Those were fun. It's still fun to vote for the All-Stars, but it was a lot more fun when you did it by hand like that at the ballpark.
I'm old enough to remember when they stuffed the ballot boxes down in Cincinnati, in the mid 70s. So I always wish we were ballot box stuffing around here. All right. So for the Maryland Lottery and what's going on right now, we are obviously doing the Gold Rush Sevens doubler. I was reading this wrong. I called it Gold Rush Doubler Sevens. And no, it's Gold Rush Sevens doubler. So I had to get that right. I give these things out. People love playing games. I pulled up at Pappas on Tuesday, and a lady in the car was next to me. Car was idling. I thought, well, maybe she's eating a crab cake in the car, because they got a little shack in the back there where you can order food and stuff now. It's Pappas is growing up over on Taylor Avenue, getting a new sign and everything. Steve told me. And I looked in the car as I was getting my stuff out to go in and do the crab cake tour. She's scratching off Maryland Lottery scratch offs in the front seat. And I'm like, you know, people love playing the lottery, and I think people love winning, and you guys always have new games. I got these new. Last time I was with you was Pac-Man. Now we're doing Gold Rush Sevens doubler, and there's a whole family of these.
Yep, that's the fun thing about scratch offs. We do launch new tickets every month, and there's always something new. There's always something different. We got a lot of people are waiting now, even though football season's still a couple months out from us. But we'll have Ravens tickets.
When did they launch? Like for real? When will they be on the street? The Raven scratch off.
That'll be
August.
That'll be in August. Yeah.
Okay, early August. Okay.
So yeah, we'll have those in time for preseason, and we'll have lots of fun with that. We got a couple of new features to the Ravens Second Chance contest for this year. I can't go into all details yet, but some interesting stuff coming here over the summer as we get ready for that. And yeah, the scratch offs are big business for us. We did the last couple of years more than $1 billion each year in scratch off sales. So out of about $2.7 billion in sales, $1 billion of that was scratch off. So it's fun. It's an instant win. Of course, people love the idea of being able to buy the ticket and not have to wait for a drawing and find out whether they won. So that's, I think, part of the reason that they resonate so well with people. But yeah, a lot of fun.
I love it when people ask me how to play the game and I don't know exactly the rules of the game. I pull the app out. I'm like, give me that. I mean, but I never go into Costas, and I always sit at the bar at Costas. I don't know why I don't sit in a restaurant. I don't. If I eat crabs, maybe, but my wife and I even sat and ate crabs at the bar a couple Sundays ago when things were going well for Bradish before the problems we've had around here the last couple of weeks with pitching. But there's always somebody that has I see scratch offs, not just that there's a machine there. Always see people playing them, always see them laying on the bar, winners, losers, whatnot. It's a fun cultural thing to do. And we always tell people this is part of the play responsibly. They're a couple bucks. Do them for fun. I see people win. They get so excited when they win. They get excited just at the chance of winning, Seth. I go through the bar at Coco's and I go down the bar and I give them to everybody, during the break in the show. And everybody's just so like, oh, I got a chance. I got a chance to win. And that's what makes it fun. That's what gets the heart moving, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I think, again, that instant notification that you've won something. And that's, I think, part of the reason they resonate so well with people. But as you say, play in moderation. There is the winning tickets are randomly distributed. There is no way for you to predict when or where a winning ticket's going to be sold. So do keep it in moderation and keep it something that's for entertainment. And if you treat it that way, it'll be something fun. And that's the way we intend it to be.
All right, Cash Pop. Came in on this thing about a month and a half ago. I was trying to explain it to my wife because my wife likes the lottery. We know this, right? My wife likes playing. And I was trying to explain to her, it's like this really simple game, except that I can't explain it simply. So I'm going to have you do that.
So yeah, the reason that it's simple is there are only 15 possible outcomes in every drawing. Now, if you think about other games in pick three, there are 1,000 possible ways to put three numbers together. In pick 4, there are 10,000. In pick 5, it's 100,000. And of course, if you talk about Mega Millions and Powerball, you're into the hundreds of millions. In Cash Pop, there are only 15 possible outcomes. The winning number is going to be somewhere between 1 and 15. We do 4 drawings a day, and you can pick as many numbers from that range as you want. Again, play in moderation and pick a number or two that are your favorites, but you can play all 15 if you want to. And you're going to guarantee yourself a win if you do that. If you play all 15, you buy all 15 numbers, you're going to win some amount, but the amount that you win will be randomly determined and printed on your ticket. So let's say, what's your favorite number between 1 and 15?
9, number 9. And you know why it was 9? Because I loved Reggie Jackson when I was a kid, and then I met him. And he's been in the news this week, obviously. I met Reggie once. That was enough for me. Even though I really I learned a lot about him this week. We talked about, I thought maybe that's why he didn't treat me well. But yeah, number 9, Reggie Jackson.
So you buy number 9, and the lottery system is going to randomly generate the prize amount that you might win. And that's going to vary depending on how much you decide to play for. You can buy a Cash Pop ticket for $1, $2, $5, or $10. The potential prizes increase as you spend more on your ticket, but you can play for as little as $1. You're number 9, and the amount of the prize that you'll win, if number 9 is drawn, will be randomly generated and printed on your ticket.
All right, so I go in and I go into anywhere where I can play Cash Pop. Rofo, Wise. Okay, I go in. Let's see, number 9, play $1. I put the dollar in, the ticket comes out, and it says, "All right, you got number 9."
And it'll
if it wins, you get $50, $10, $2. So when it wins or it doesn't win, and it happens 4 times a day total, right? It's not like Keno that's happening a whole bunch, or like the racetracks or those kind of. It's just 4 times a day you get in.
That's it. That's it exactly. You got it.
All right.
Now we've given the simple explanation of how to play Cash Pop.
All right, I keep thinking with 15, and this takes me back to my days at the East Point Carnival over Colgate, where we spin the wheel and and there's just 15 chances on that wheel. That's it. That's different than a whole lot of lottery propositions, right? Like the lottery is pick numbers, pick a bunch of numbers numbers come in. This is different than that. This is a really, really simple game, Cash Pop.
Yeah. And again, I think that's the reason that it may resonate with people is because it's so simple. It's only 15 possible outcomes. It's not like pick 4, which is extremely popular. People love playing pick 4. And of the daily number games, I think pick 4 is the strongest one.
Really?
But there are.
I would always think the 3 would be the one because it was the long. It happened first.
It happened first, right? But there are 10,000 possible combinations in pick 4. So people get maybe a little bit frustrated. They have their favorite combination that they play all the time. And they say, "Why doesn't my combination come out?" Well, there's 10,000 possible ways that you can put 4 numbers together. But in Cash Pop, there are only 15 outcomes.
Think about this: 10,000 ways. If you played $1 a day every day for a year, you'd be up to 365, right? So in order to play all 10,000 numbers, it would take you like 30 years. Like, it's incredible, right? And you can play every number you want in the next 15 days. Okay, all right. Well, I like winning. So, when I play, I want to win in anything that I do. Seth Elkin is here. He is the Director of Communications for the Maryland Lottery and Gaming. John Martin is trying to figure out home run riches and is too busy celebrating all these Guardians. I can't believe he didn't show up this week, but I know it's like the weekend after the Pirates beat us. I knew I was going to have you. All you guys over there. What else is going on? It's a great summer, and part of getting out and being a part of spinning wheels. You guys have wheels you spin at various places. This is the festival season, and we're all having a good time this summer. I think the weather's been great. Orioles have been great, but you guys are all over the community.
We're having events. We slowed down a little bit here in early part of July, but then we'll pick things up. We've got a lot of events scheduled as we get the summer moving along here. In late July, we'll be at the Lake Arbor Jazz Festival in Prince George's County. We'll be at the Baltimore Magazine Crab Fest. And we'll be at some Orioles games as we go along, and then we'll be out in Ocean City in August for the Marlin Fest. We're looking forward to that, being there for that event. So Lots of fun events, and of course, all leading up to the state fair, which is a very big deal for us. We're out there all day, every day that the fair is open. You can find us in the lobby of the exhibition hall, and that's a big deal for us as well. But the fun thing going on until then is we got a bunch of sports. If you're a sports fan, which I know you are, we're sports related promotions that are going on here. One of which, with the Olympics getting ready to start.
I heard about this a couple weeks ago. Got a chance
So
to go to the next. I had to look up where it is. Italy.
are you
Italy.
a Winter Olympics guy or a Summer Olympics guy? You got a
I'm
preference?
probably a Summer Olympics guy, but I've been to LA and I haven't been to Milano. So I want to go to Italy. If I won, I would go to Italy.
And that's something that there are 3 winners from Maryland who will have a chance to do that. If you enter your Mega Millions tickets between now and, let me get the date and make sure I give it to everybody right.
It's like 2 weeks from now. It's a couple weeks from now in July,
Yeah,
right?
between now and August. The entry deadline is August the 12th. So
August
you've
12th.
got the entire month of August, or July and into August. You enter your Mega Millions tickets, and we'll do 3 drawings. The first drawing actually is coming up on the 2nd of July. So you got a chance at that first drawing pretty soon here. And 3 winners will get their choice of a trip for 2 to the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy, or the 2028 Summer Games in Los Angeles. So a great prize. And of course, we'll have some Olympics prize packs that we'll also give away as part of that promotion to get everybody geared up for the Summer Games coming up in Paris this year. So,
all right. Well, I hope you drew the straw that goes to Ocean City to spin the wheel and I hope you have a little fun this summer. You seen the Pirates play this year?
I did. I made it actually for the first time to Wrigley Field. I had never been there before, and I went to see the Pirates in Chicago last month. So that was an experience. I
Good time.
Never seen a game in Wrigley Field before, and never had the whole Wrigleyville experience. So that was a good time. Yeah. And the Pirates won both games that I went to. So,
well, I mean, your stadium's on a lot of people's bucket list now. I mean, the Pittsburgh Stadium has a great reputation as well for people to go up there. I've had friends go up there. They've done a whole bunch of stuff since the last time I was up there at PNC. So, one day the Pirates will come back. Until then, you keep replaying 1979 and put some Sister Sledge on or something like that. Right?
I am 1,000% biased, but yes, that ballpark, PNC Park, if you've never been there, it's something as you say, put on your bucket list. It's a great place to visit. And the Pirates are among a group of teams in the National League that can't decide whether they're going to compete this year or not. They got to give those wild card spots to somebody.
They got any pitching we can fleece? I mean, we need to fleece some pitching.
No, our pitching is off limits at this point. We got Paul Skeens and we're not giving him up. So.
Give me another Garrett Cole. I need another Garrett Cole from your organization.
We already gave him up. We got fleeced of him already. So
yeah, well, that's what concerns all of us around here. Hey, man, hopefully you and I get together, go to a ball game. That'd be a lot of fun. And I got to spend time in Seth Elkin's office. It smells a little bit like Pittsburgh. It smells a little bit like a Permani sandwich. To be honest with you, it looks like that as well. But I admire your Pittsburgh fandom, and I admire the fact that you can at least put up with Baltimore. And I tell you, man, John and I went back and forth last week about Cleveland and the suffering of Cleveland, first Indians, now Guardians fans, all these years, and the suffering of Orioles fans. It's 83. You guys have had it since 70. I mean, it's a party in 79. I don't like thinking about it much. But, it's been a little while for all of us. We're all suffering here, right?
They have only had 7 winning seasons, the Pirates, since the early 1980s. So it's been bad for a long time.
The Orioles haven't had much more than that. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Since 89, maybe not. Okay, I'll look. Next time I have you on, we'll see how many competitive and winning are different. Going 81 and 81's not ringing the bell for me.
Yeah, that's just it. The Pirates are sub 500 this year, but they may still end up with a wild card spot because they keep adding teams to the playoffs, which I'm not sure I like so much, but yeah, we'll take it if we can get in.
Well, we'll go fleece the Cardinals or somebody else in your division is what we'll do. Somebody else, one of the bottom feeders. Seth Elkin is here. He is the director of all things communications for the Maryland Lottery. We're going to be getting the Gold Rush Sevens doublers back out on the road on the 12th of July. We're back at Fadley's. I'm going to have a whole list of July and August dates. And then, of course, in September, 26 oysters in 26 days. I ran into an old friend from the Pepper Mill this week. I'm going to finally go to the Pepper Mill and eat the oyster stew someday in September. We had oyster festivals in September. A lot of things going on, including the Oyster Recovery Project, which is important for the Bay and for crabs. I'll be educating folks about that. Seth educates people about the Maryland Lottery and educating you, reminding you to play responsibly. Have fun with these games, win a little bit of money. Don't go crazy on it like my wife does when Mega Millions gets up over like 800 million. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking Baltimore positive and some Orioles baseball. Stay with us.